Hey brothers, what's going on? JK, the founder and head coach of PornReboot here. Today we're going to be talking about how to turn a moment into momentum during your reboot. Now, when I was going through my reboot, there were a lot of times I would read self-development books and recovery books that would talk about the importance of self-awareness and always being in the moment. And as a meditator, I believed that in the moment, what I needed to do was always just become aware of my body, become aware of the way I was feeling, mostly becoming aware of my breath. But I wasn't truly able to learn how to harness this self-awareness and being mindful and being in the moment into action, because I'm a very action-oriented person. And you might be wondering that as well. You might be wondering, well, I'm dealing with this problem and this person that I respect and look up to is telling me to, hey, just be in the moment. Well, this isn't working for me. Well, I'm going to share the only 3 things which you can do in the moment. And the beauty of these things is that they're going to help you move forward. So the first thing that you can do in the moment is expressing gratitude. Now, you cannot express gratitude in the future, and you certainly cannot express gratitude in the past. You can only experience gratitude in the present moment. So being grateful about the fact that you have a roof over your head, being grateful about the fact that you're healthy, being grateful about the fact that you're in a relationship or you have wonderful kids, being grateful about the fact that you have some money in a bank, being grateful about the fact that you live in a safe place. There's so many things to be grateful for when you're triggered or when you're dealing with a strong emotion that usually leads to a slip. Now, here's another interesting thing about gratitude. Gratitude biochemically also leads to the release of serotonin and dopamine. And this is why it's a very important part of what we call recovery time in the PornReboot system, where you put aside a certain amount of time which is dedicated to your reboot instead of trying to use willpower throughout the day. And because it releases serotonin and dopamine, and you do that to start your day, it's very helpful, especially when early in the morning you are craving something. You have a very strong craving for something to feel better. You're like, oh my God, I'm stressed. I have a very busy day. There are all these uncertainties that I have to deal with in my life. Well, gratitude is one of the things that you can do in the moment only, and it comes with a bonus in that it releases serotonin and dopamine. That's the first thing. The second thing is choices. Choices are something which can only be made in the moment. They cannot be made in the past, and they certainly cannot be made in the future. Right now, at every given moment, you have a choice to make. And that choice is going to determine how you feel and literally how your reboot is going to go. And I don't think many of us take enough responsibility for our choices. So as you're listening to this, you get it. You're like, yeah, JK, I get what you're talking about, choices, and it's something that you can only do in the present moment. But understanding that my choice is one of the only things that I can do in the moment, truly understanding that concept gives you power over the present moment. And it does determine your future. Now, when you just think a choice is a choice, many of us just, oh yeah, that's a choice I made, whatever. We're very casual and flippant about it. I encourage you to always view choice with the present moment. So you're like, there's a choice, and it's something I can only do right now. I only have this moment. And whatever I do after that, there really isn't any going back. It is permanent in one way or the other. So take choice seriously and understand the power that it has. The third thing which you can control in the present moment, and which you can only do in the present moment, is action. Now, action is whatever you decide that you're going to do after you've made a choice. And you can't take action in the past, you can't take action in the future. If you find yourself procrastinating, if you find yourself feeling bad, if you find yourself being lonely, if you find yourself being upset, Action is the only thing that will change it. And again, this might sound very basic, it might sound like common sense, but how often have you found yourself in a situation and you not only didn't take action, but when you did take action, you purposefully took the wrong action? You could have done something. Let's say you were triggered by something. You had the choice to set up a boundary. Instead, you're like, you know what, I'm triggered, I feel a very strong emotion, but I don't want to masturbate, so instead I'm going to go eat some junk food. I'm going to go engage in another behavior that is detrimental to me. Now, right there, you've already made the wrong choice. And when it comes to action, you've already taken the wrong type of action. Action is something you can only do in the moment, and it does affect what you do in the future. But when you put all three of those things together and you understand that the only things you can control in the present moment are gratitude, the choices you make, and the action that you take, this is how you turn any moment, no matter how challenging it is, into momentum. This is actually how you move forward, and I'd like you to try it yourself. Whatever kind of a moment that you're having, choose to be grateful about something. Pick one thing that you're grateful for in your life, and also talk about the reason why you're grateful for it. Then make a choice based on that gratitude. From a place of gratitude, when you have changed your biochemical state and released some serotonin and dopamine, make a choice. And then after you make that choice, immediately take action. All these three things are things which you would have done in the moment. I hope that made sense, brothers. I'm JK, your brother in this struggle. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch this video. Whenever you're ready, there are 3 ways I can help you end your out of control behavior with porn, sex, or masturbation. The first way is to join our free Facebook group. And it's a group where you can find accountability partners, you can communicate with me directly, and you can be in a community of men who are serious about ending their out of control behavior. The second way is to download a free copy of my ebook. It's called Confessions of a Porn Addict, 7 Secrets of Porn-Free Men. And it's the blueprint to ending your behavior. And what that means is that if you're curious about my system and you'd like to learn how it's helped men over the past 8-9 years, then check it out. And the final way that I can help you is if you are at a point in your life where you feel that you need professional help, which means that you've been making progress, but it's not fast enough. You've done something which you regret and you don't believe that you can get back from it. Or you're the sort of person who needs a system. You need someone to hold your hand and take you step by step through it because you're not able to do it on your own. You may be a good fit for our group coaching program, the PornReboot Intensive or the PornReboot Implementation Program. In order to apply, use the link in the description below the video and speak to one of our team members to find out if you're a good fit. Have a great day, and I'll speak to you later on in the week.